I wish you could have seen Emerald Stair in better times.
What was it like? I've only passed through a few times over the years.
The evenings were cool. Fish leaped into our nets. Emerald Stair was everything.
Pleasant and abundant. Sounds like the fables old trenchers used to tell about Deadfire. Paradise.
Envoy? Hard to imagine what Giada's going through right now, with her parents and all that. I mean, I have no idea what actually happened there, but she lost her people. She'll need time to get past that. And she deserves it. Right, changing the subject. Right. I'm sure you'll find it absolutely gripping. Go ahead. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Giada's a mystery to me. Animancers give me the vrikas, and for good reason. Most of them would just as soon turn your soul into jewelry as look at you. Giada seems different. She's smart, thoughtful, and she's got a spine, too. You can tell when someone needs extra help out here, and she doesn't. So, yeah, I don't understand her, but I guess I don't have to, really. If I must.
Marius, could I examine your soul?
Oh, no. You'll use none of that spooky soul business on me.
But I promised to be gentle.
What are you even looking for?
Nothing. Anything. I'm sure I'll know when I find it.
And so will the rest of us.
Don't you trust me?
You? Sure. It's all the animancy I have trust problems with.
I'll try not to take that personally. Suit yourself.
You know, I've heard dueling is popular in the Valian republics. You wouldn't think a public argument could feel as brutal, but I'll be damned if Giada didn't draw blood.
What can I say? I do my best work under pressure.
Believe me, I meant that as a compliment.
Not to mention willfully obtuse.
Living landers can be contrarian and combative. That's what sends a lot of us here in the first place. But it's still hard to swim against the tide with your own people, especially when it means getting them to face a hard truth.
Agreed.
I'm with you both. And Giada. She knows who she is and what she believes. She's got more clarity and conviction than I had at her age.
She has more clarity than you have now.
Hey, I am a willing victim of my own delusions.
Sometimes that just makes it easier.
Hey, don't worry. We're talking about Giada's situation.
Right. Like, what did you think I was talking about?
Anyway, this probably isn't how you wanted to start a new adventure, but we're glad to have you with us.
Thank you, Kai. The circumstances could be better, but it helps to be among friends.
Anytime.
Thank you again for letting me join you. An animancer never misses an opportunity to embrace the unknown. Still, being an animancer feels different without Fior Messiverno. For the first time, I don't have to prove myself to anyone. It'll take some getting used to, that's for sure. At least now I have a place I can call my own. Believe me, that's plenty. Not to change the topic, but this little adventure of ours, will it be dangerous? A little bit of trouble in moderation can be good for the soul. My mother and father taught me how to defend myself, among other things. When you need me, I'll be ready. I hope so, anyway. What do you want to know? Ah, a simple question with a very complicated answer. The device is attuned to the spiritual energy of the living lands, much like a compass to magnetic north. But essence is chaotic by nature. As you saw with your own eyes, imposing order on chaos is not without risk. Not for long. Don't get me wrong, this invention is a small miracle, but it isn't enough. The phantasmal focus was supposed to be the start of something grand. One lever of a device that exists only in theory. Perhaps it should remain that way. Now that you mention it, I did try and awaken my soul to become fully aware of my past lives. Every animancer tries and fails. It's practically a rite of passage. So, one evening, I crept into the workshop and cobbled an invention together from spare parts. Amateur work. Then I turned it on. Big mistake. The next thing I knew, it was morning. I was floating in the fountain, and my head was pounding like a drum.
You don't need animancy for that. Just rum and a crew on shore leave.
That answers a lot of questions, honestly.
Sometimes I wonder, what if it actually worked? What if all of this happened before, and I'm just reliving the events of a past life? I try not to think about it too much. That little island off of Dawnshore? None that I know of. Ignato Castle led the Valian trading company in the Deadfire archipelago. Among other things, he invested in the future of animancy, and apparently he had interests here. He had some ideas about moving great distances in the blink of an eye. As far as I know, he was unsuccessful. Animancy and ambition are a dangerous mixture. Intoxicating, but dangerous. Afraid not. I've heard a lot of contradictory stories coming out of the Deadfire in recent years. Some say Castle is still in power, while others think his second-in-command took over the Valian trading company. You know how it is. Wherever there's conflict, there's bound to be misinformation. I hope not. I wouldn't want my family associated with speculation, corruption, and whatever else happened in the Deadfire. We have enough problems already. Unfortunately, that's all I know. Whether or not Castle succeeded, I don't think it's folly to dream. I suppose you deserve to know, after what I put you through. My mother wanted to expand Fiore's agriculture. Feeding Emerald Stair wasn't ambitious enough. She wanted to feed the world. She thought she could break the wilderness, using animancy as the whip. Turn the living lands into a garden. Anything's possible, but there are significant problems to overcome. After my father put the finishing touches on the phantasmal focus, she was impatient to get started. After all, Whoever controls the spirit of the living lands has nature in the palm of their hand. My father thought so too. Emerald Stair was just the beginning to her. My father thought she was brilliant. Others thought she was mad. I think she was a victim of her own ambition. She wanted so much and there was so little time to achieve it. Theoretically, her plan should have worked. But the living lands had other ideas. When she used the phantasmal focus, theory collided with reality. Everything went wrong. No. To my knowledge, the accident was no everyday occurrence. But neither was the experiment. My mother transgressed on nature, on existence itself. Still, I don't understand what went wrong. When I do, then I can finish her work. I was 17. That makes it... Gods, has it been 13 years already? After they died, I wouldn't go near a lab. It was ages before Kolichi got me to crack open a book. I have a lot of catching up to do in my studies. Need to make up for lost time. My mother and father didn't know the risks, and I can't stop thinking about them. Caution and experience will stop us from repeating their mistakes. I can't rule anything out, but I suspect the Dream Scourge had something to do with it. It lives in the essence of the living lands, corrupting whatever it touches. And if I'm right, that means it's been here a long time. Or the forces behind it. That's all I care to say for now. At least, about this topic. I thought my family's research could help Emerald Stair. That it could banish the Dream Scourge from our lands. Of course, Vidaro wouldn't even give me a chance. He was afraid of history repeating itself. Still, I'm hopeful. This legacy of mine could change Animancy as we know it. And something tells me I'm close to a breakthrough. Closer than my mother ever got. I hardly think your Emperor would approve. Good thing he's on the other side of the world. No Animancer has engineered an ecosystem before. Maybe, with a little luck, I could be the first. Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. We haven't been together long, but I think I have you figured out. In Paradise, you have a reputation for being an unlawful misfit. This is the frontier, after all. We don't exactly do things by the book. Fior Messiverno tolerates you well enough. No doubt thanks to my influence. Of course, all I know is what you've done. You may not think these choices reflect who you are. At the end of the day, you shouldn't care what anyone thinks. All that matters is how you see yourself. Marius is working through something. An old wound that hasn't healed. A search for forgiveness? Who knows? He's a tough fellow, but I wouldn't put too much pressure on him. Good question. Mental and emotional pressure, specifically. Marius could hunt the great western stag if he set his mind to it, but his own feelings elude him. When he wants to find himself, give him room to do so, but don't push him. Just be there to catch him. Kai is a useful fellow. We need people like him to keep you grounded. Just not too grounded. On the surface, Kai is all charm and confidence. You feel good knowing he's around. But there's something deeper. Something in his core that he guards from everyone. Maybe even himself. Kai wears his confidence like a mask. We all do. No one wants to project their frailties. But in his case, hiding behind it amplifies his better qualities. So I say, let him have his mask. If there's another side to him, he'll show us when he's good and ready. No need to rush a natural process. I've spilled all the gossip I know. Ask me again when there's a new face in camp. What's on your mind? Let me think. Quilici has a girlfriend, as cute as a button, and as smart as an archmage. That isn't a secret, I'm just happy for him. Have you heard of the incident at Beldereno Pass? 20 settlers lost their lives in a winter storm. Ever since, people have heard ghostly cries from a nearby cave. Fascinating, isn't it? Tragic, of course, but fascinating. Sorry to disappoint you, but I haven't heard anything new of late. Being an outcast means being out of the loop. Ah, you want a story? Very well. Settle in. It all started about 50 years ago, in the great city of Spirento. A young nobleman by the name of Maxim Vidaro sought to inherit a distinguished government position. A distant cousin cheated Maxim out of the title. He was devastated, his political future uncertain. No one lifted a finger to help. Not the banks, not the merchants, or the politicians. So, Maxim did what Valians do best. Something like that. Maxim plotted his revenge. They say he prayed to Scan, the effigy, god of rebellion and defiance, to ask for a blessing. And Scan answered. Take their best and brightest, their heirs, their scholars, their futures, to the far side of the world, never to return. And Maxim did just that. He gathered a following and left the Valian republics, giving thanks to his dark god. Spirento was full of animancers, many of them in debt, and Maxim was a wealthy patron. They needed each other. So the animancers followed Maxim all the way out here, including my parents, Quilici, and others around town. At the time, this place was an animancer's dream. No oversight, limited government, and soil rich with essence. 40 years later, Maxim vanished. They say the effigy came to collect his soul. Nonsense, of course. His son has been in charge ever since. For better or worse. I have good reason to be critical, but I also know his life isn't as easy as it looks. He and I might squabble in public from time to time, but we're both just figuring it all out as we go. Thanks for listening. We should do this again.
I love a good ghost story. Just not the dreams I have afterwards.
Hadn't heard all that before. Probably a lesson or two in there.
One of these days you'll have to tell me an Adiran ghost story. You learn a lot about people by what scares them. Let me think. Sorry to disappoint you, but I haven't heard anything new of late. Not before I've done some reading.
I was wondering, what do souls feel like?
Forgive me, but could you elaborate?
I mean, do you touch them when you're doing animancy? Are they hot or cold? Is it like a cloud or like a beam of light?
Well, it feels a bit like being watched. Like there's an unseen presence in the laboratory with you. That's why many animancers prefer to work in groups, to be in the presence of the living.
I think that makes sense.
Normally this is nothing to worry about, unless the presence follows you home. Then you know you've angered the dead.
Right. I think I'll just stick with hunting bears for now.
I can't believe it. Ranger Dorso, a traitor to Fior Messiverno. At least she isn't our problem anymore. My people let nature judge the turncoats. Always have. Fair, yes, but not merciful. Exile in the living lands is not the worst fate a criminal can suffer, but it's close, and always deserved. Still, it's a shame. Dorso gave up on the dream of Fior Messiverno. Blamed animancers for the problems we tried to solve. And I hate to see anyone lose hope. That's all for now. Let me know if there's anything else. You too. Maybe it seems like nothing to you, but to her it's everything. When you consider how many Orlans and dwarves there are, it's outrageous that we build so high off the ground. She's very special to me. Don't let her size fool you. On the inside, Yatsley stands as tall as a mountain. One of these days she's going to change the world, shake things up. And I'll be at her side, grinning like a fool. Anyway, thanks again. Until next time. Marius, what do you know about snake bites?
All there is to know. What bit you?
I don't know. It just slithered out of my bedroll.
Listen to me, this is very important. Was its head flat or round?
Hard to say. Kind of star-shaped?
Okay, after it bit you, did it hold on or let go?
It held on, and left a bruise in the shape of an eye.
You're in luck. That's an onlooker worm snake. Harmless, though legend says they're emissaries of WoW.
Wow. The god of mysteries and illusions sent me a snake?
Be glad it wasn't a shimmering dream beast. Those are nasty.
Well, the venom won't kill you, but you'll have some interesting nightmares.
Nightmares I can deal with. But I wonder what it all means. Oh well. Perhaps I'm not meant to know. Thank you, Marius. I feel a lot better.
Don't mention it.
Did they not glow in the light? Her parents, her sentinels. To grow and flourish still, life without rot, form without death. The lake dries. Prune the bellflowers. Why should anything wilt? Endless spring. They breathe, they flower, they will never fade. They sing in peace. Was it not worth the change? Do we not? The bear would have spent its days in the wood. They are strong now, vibrant, better than their frail shells. Even the darkest evening clouds part with the morning mist. Sleep now. Dream of beauty and new life. We will speak soon.
Quiet as the depths.
Blade in the dark.
We make a good squad. We make a good squad.
waste of good food, if you ask me. Look at... Why not sacrifice a goat while you're at it?
Weapons ready.
Let's see what you got. Still recovering. On your right. Hey! Over here! Right. breath. Give me a second.
Under my...
I was worried for a second.
The squirrels will get plenty to eat tonight.
I need a minute. Hey! Over here! Still recovering. Go from your right! Hey! Aim where? Stand back.
The path is closed. Someone's got to contain this plague. What business do you have in Shatterscarp? Name's Martineo. Ranger Martineo. I'm the final word on who crosses this border from either direction. Good to see you, Giata.
Likewise. How's your mother?
The usual. Coughing at night, but it's nothing I haven't treated before. She asks about you.
I don't visit enough. You know what to do. Honey and lemon in her tea. Any chance my friends and I could snoop around the border? I promise not to cause you any trouble.
I wish I could help, but times being what they are, it's not possible. No one comes or goes by this pass. Someone has to contain this plague, might as well be me. Either? Both? My loyalty is to survival, not politics. As much as I've enjoyed this little chat, It's time for you to turn around and go back the way you came. You too. Take care, Giata.
Give my best to your mother.
Always do.
Been across the border before?
Not since all of this stuff. They say Shatterscarp has it worse than us.
Worse than us? Oh,
Do your job and you won't have to find out.
Good to see you again, Envoy. I told you we'd cross paths once more. If you need to restock, I have some new wares. Oh, just taking a bit of a breather before I continue. I'd much rather rest a bit here than in Shatterscarp. I've heard the desert can be brutal. Not much, unfortunately. There's a settlement in the region. Feathered Born, I believe it's called. Hardy folks. Otherwise, you can expect blazing sands and, if the rumors are true, dream thralls. Poor bastards. If it wasn't the only way to Solace Keep, I'd be avoiding the place like the Dream Scourge. Well, uneventful enough. Gods be praised. But let's just say I'm more grateful than ever for this hand-me-down equipment. The spoilings in Delimgan out here are vicious, and even the less mobile plant life seems like it wants me dead.
Good to see you again. May I see that? Oh, Acuccio Pan Liberi. I assume that's my name. This seems to be an attempt to create an elixir that allows one to bypass tedium by simply not experiencing or remembering it. If so, I may have made some miscalculations in planning the experiment. Yes. Now to figure out what to do with that information. Thank you for your time, my friend. I bid you good day. I should have guessed I was an animancer when I got the irresistible urge to argue with a stranger. Yes.
Where do you go after death? I still know.
You return. Have you visited all 3 grave sites? Thank you for helping the dead to rest, my friend. You have done Fiora great service. Now, will you stand and pray with me? May you walk the path safely, always a step ahead of the pallid night and her toll. May the usher guide you through the safest doors to the next life, and may his skeletal hand bring you only warmth. May the twin gods see faith in you in all their aspects, and may death come quickly and easily, and without fear. And may we all take comfort in the knowledge that the next life awaits. You know the prayer. It gives me such joy. Please, take this token of Bereth's favor. May it keep you from her path for just a moment longer. May the usher find you quickly, Aimika, and ferry you gently to the next life. May the gods quicken your path.